Lima Papa Roger, Squawk 1200 radio services. Terminated, frequency change to White Unicom 135.0 approved. Good day.
Good night, Roger. You can proceed to the runway.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing to see all the aviation content we have to offer, just like today's video. In our video today, we will be focusing once again on what it would take to start your own airline. If you don't have any idea to what I'm talking about, you can reference a link somewhere on your screen to the first video in the series, where we talked about the logistics and initial steps behind starting your own airline. In this video, we will be discussing the need for finding investors for your airline, some of the challenges you may face when trying to start your airline, and how to make the selection of aircraft for your given airline. So without any more delay, let's get flying. The thing you'll need most of when starting your airline isn't ingenuity or perseverance, but rather money. Starting an airline requires a significant amount of money, much more than many other industries. To have a successful airline, you need enough money to purchase airplanes for your airline, hire and pay salary for your pilots and ground staff and crew. You'll need to pay money for slots at an airport for your airplanes to board and onboard at. You need money for the food served on your aircraft, the fuel that goes into your planes. You'll need to pay for the uniforms of all your workers, and for deliveries painted on your airplane fleet. The items I have just listed are just the major expenses you'll be required to pay when you're just starting out, but there are a plethora of minor items that still require a portion of your airline's budget. The large financial strain on an airline can have is not one that should be taken on by a singular person, which raises the need for investors for your airline. Having a group of investors or a company that will pay for shares in your airline. They are what will get your airline from a concept on a drawing board into a reality. Another key fact to consider when searching for investments in your airline is the home country of your airline. In the United States, 75% of the stake in the airline must be owned by a US citizen, with only 25% allowed to be from foreign investments. Moving on, we'd like to inform you that the chance of starting your airline and getting it running smoothly without any minor or major bumps in the road is pretty unlikely. The aviation industry is set up to make it very difficult to start an airline from the very beginning these days, primarily to prevent further competition with certain sectors of the airline market. A key challenge in starting an airline is receiving federal approval from the Federal Aviation Administration located in the US. Although many airlines are not based in the US, an airline that flies to destinations in the United States or any of their territories requires certification from the FAA, which became a difficult and time-consuming process, but this is for a good reason. Since the events that occurred on 9/11, the United States Department of Homeland Security and FAA have increased safety and security requirements for an airline to become certified in the US. Now, some may consider the fact, why not just avoid flying to the US? But here's why that statement in many cases is false. The United States lies in a strategic location between Europe, Eastern Asia, and islands in the South Pacific and Indian Oceans. By having this large piece of land between two major continents in the world, the United States has a monopoly on air travel, with many of the busiest airports in the world being located in the US, like Atlanta's Jackson Hartsfield International Airport, New York John F. Kennedy International Airport, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, and Los Angeles International Airport. All of these airports act as major hubs for many of the world's largest airlines, which comes to show the importance of flying in the US and being FAA certified to do so. Another challenge that we previously mentioned but didn't expand on was the competition within the airline industry and how crowded the market is presently. With so many different airlines offer unique experiences and destinations, it may be hard for your new airline to gain attention, which is necessary to find passengers to fill your flights. A recommendation we could give to you to possibly avoid this challenge is find something that makes your airline different from others, and then build on that through heavy marketing. Having strong marketing resources is what can make or break any company in the present world business sector, so drawing attention to your airline will be the best way to grow. A final item to consider when trying to start your own airline is the type of aircraft you plan to choose for your flights. There are a wide variety of aircraft available for purchase, ranging from a couple $1,000s to hundreds of millions. Choosing an airplane that best fits your chosen market is probably what will suit your airline. For example, if your airline is focusing on small hops in the Alaskan wilderness, you would want to consider buying a Cessna Caravan or a Quest Kodiak, because either plane has a larger capacity than, let's say, a Cessna 172 or a Piper Cub, but they both can still take off and land in more rugged terrain, whereas a regional jetliner could not perform such tasks. When you are first starting out, you probably won't have enough money to buy the most expensive of planes. A great option to consider is leasing planes when starting out. Leasing planes from other airlines or aircraft manufacturers offers a cheaper solution to having aircraft in your fleet, which can still fly passengers, but for a fraction of the sum that buying an airplane new would cost. Well, that concludes today's episode on explaining what it really takes to start an airline. In our next episode, we will be discussing how to market your airline and what to do when you begin flying passengers and how to better their experience. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the thumbs up button and write a comment down below. If you want to stay updated with all the future aviation content our channel has to offer, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, you can use the listed handles on the screen or the links in the description below. To hear more about Forward Aviation and to join our community, join the Forward Aviation Discord, also linked below. We hope you join us for next week's video, and thank you for flying with us today on Forward Aviation.